MFFLs. Listen, guys, I can't tell by my background. You already know what time it is. We about to get into the Mavs. So in today's video, guys, I want to start out by apologizing that I did not have a video for you guys for the third preseason game against the Charlotte Hornets, which if you saw that game, was it really anything to talk about? That might have been one of the most lopsided games I've probably ever seen in my life. I've never seen a team damn near get blown out by 70 points. I've never seen it in my life. But we're going to go ahead and cover a little bit of that today. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a recap of tonight's game against the Milwaukee Bucks. And I'm also going to kind of give you my overall thoughts of this team coming out of preseason, going into the regular season, which they start next Thursday against the Atlanta Hawks in Atlanta. So let's go ahead and get into it, ladies and gentlemen. So as y'all know, the Mavericks just beat the Milwaukee Bucks 114-103, which gives them the undefeated title going into the regular season. They are undefeated here in the preseason, which is a good thing. I know a lot of people are like, it's just preseason. But when you look at the preseason, you play these games to try to clean some things up, learn some things, implement different systems and stuff like that you're going to be taking with you into the regular season. So for me, man, I took a lot out of this regular season game. But for one, I like this team. I like what Dallas is doing with the whole scheme and how everybody's coming together, the continuity, the bonding, all that stuff, man, that they're going to need going into this 82-game season. Because this year's 82 is not 72 like it was last year. 82 games. So it's going to be a marathon. Or should I say it's going to be it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. But before I get into that, guys, there was some news that just dropped. As y'all guys know, you've heard us talk about this before. The Mavericks were over the amount of player they should have on their roster, and they just cut 3 players here tonight, which is kind of fast. I thought they probably would have slept on it before they made these moves, but they didn't hesitate. They went ahead and got it done immediately. Freon Hunt, Carly Jones, and surprisingly, the Mavs 31st pick last year, Tyrell Terry. I guess you guys heard us talk about this before. When Dallas signed Frank Ntilikina, there was a chance that it was either going to be that either was going to guarantee Frank's full contract, or they were going to get rid of Trey Burke, or they were going to cut Tyrell Terry. And it ended up being Tyrell Terry that got the axe. We talked about this before with Tyrell Terry. He being one of the picks by Bob O'Garris, the former Mavs scout and play GM of the Dallas Mavericks, now that he's gone. So now that Terry's gone, Tyler Bay is gone, and Nate Hitton is gone, there's only one pick made by Bob O'Garris that's on this team still, and that's Josh Green. So it's not looking too good for these picks that Bob made. You know, we've talked about this before on plenty of videos, a couple of players that we wish we had got instead of these guys, but hey, don't want to harp on that tonight. Let's go ahead and talk about some of the things that we saw tonight in today's game and in the preseason in general going into the regular season. Tonight's game was after surprise. It was a surprise. Of course, we know KP, Luka, and Timmy didn't play tonight. They went ahead and rested them and to get them ready for Thursday's game against Atlanta. So it was a chance to have the others step up and kind of show what they can do. It also gave an opportunity for players like Carly Jones and Eugene and guys like that to kind of show the coach staff what they can do, or to show other teams what they can do. So if they got waived, they have an opportunity to go play for other teams. To me, man, like I said, Dallas so far has shown that they have a whole new system. It's a whole new system. And it looks like they are starting to implement a lot of the things that we saw Luka's team in Slovenia do in the Olympics, where it's a lot of ball movement. I'm starting to see a lot of backdoor cuts, which is a great thing. And the Mavericks are starting to amp up their assists as a team. I know it's only preseason, but like I said before, you want to take certain things from the preseason, build on it going into the regular season. Dallas in the preseason was number 1 in assists at almost 30 a game. That's a huge build up from last year, because last year, it was pretty much Luka and that was it. When you see other guys contributing and give you about 3 or 4 assists, that's a good thing. Like I said, that means that the ball is not sticking, it's not staying in one guy's hands, and that means Dallas can hit you in different type of ways. So I saw a lot of that in this game. But the overall thing that I liked about this one game here, actually preseason in general, because I know we've heard the Mavs in the past talk about this. It's kind of cliche at this point, but the fact that Dallas is focusing on defense now that we have multiple wings, quick defensive wings, long rangy defensive wings. There's a lot of hands in passing lanes, a lot of deflections, a lot of blocks, a lot of steals. I'm loving it. I think this is what Dallas envisioned having around Luka and KP before this year. Just having those guys like that, man, those long rangey defensive wings that can not only shoot the three, but also can guard multiple positions. And like I said, it's helping out wonders for the Mavericks, because now with that, you're able to get into fast breaks. And Dallas's pace this preseason has been amazing. I know y'all probably heard me say this ad nauseum. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I've been saying this for the longest. As long as Dallas has been under Rick Carlisle, they've always been at the bottom echelon of the league in fast break points and pace. And I think that Rick Carlisle not trusting the defense is the reason why he tried to trim down the possessions, which is why he slowed the game down, because of less possessions, the less chances of you making mistakes on defense. So I think with Jason Kidd seeing the talent that the Mavs have, he went ahead and just flipped the script. Let's just go ahead and open it up. The best way to utilize these guys is to just open it up and have a little fun, which is what he's talked about that before on previous press conferences and interviews and stuff like that. It's just the team going out and having fun, opening it up. Under Rick Carlisle, Dallas averaged about 92 possessions. And so far in the preseason, they've averaged about 111 possessions. Huge jump. Now, like I said, I know it's the preseason, but we're talking about taking this and building on it. And so the thing for me was, when I was going into the whole preseason thing, I wanted to see what kind of system Jason Kidd was going to implement, because we had no idea what he was going to implement. And I know a lot of people were asking him, are you going to take pieces of what Rick had, or are you going to take pieces of what Slovenia did in the Olympics and kind of making an amalgamation of a system? And I think that's what he did. Because like I said, a lot of the backdoor cuts and a lot of the assists that each player is starting to get, like I said, it's not all Luka out there giving you 10, 11 assists and then hoping everybody else can make it. It's a team effort, and it's ball movement, which keeps the defense on their heels, because you don't know where it's going to come from. And to see, Luka buying into that, that's also a plus too, because Luka understands, man. Like I said, he played in Slovenia in that type of system, and he saw how he thrived. That's a good thing here for Dallas. Like I said, it makes it a whole lot easier for Luka, to the point that he does not get burned out in the fourth quarters when we need him, and it keeps him a little bit fresher going in, throughout the year, going into the playoffs. So all of that is a positive for the Mavericks. Another thing that I picked up so far too, guys, in this preseason, preseason in general, I was wrong. I will admit, I was wrong after the first preseason game about Kristaps Porzingis. Because we heard about how he is coming into this season 100%, no injuries, no rehabbing, no surgery, nothing, right? And so the fact that he came in 100% healthy, he came in focused, canceled all that noise that he was hearing over the offseason. He went in and worked on his game. And now that he's 100% and he also worked on his game, that would be wonders for the Mavericks. Now we can finally see, hopefully, might see Bubble KP. The way he's been playing in the preseason, man, is very encouraging, very encouraging. Because now, if he can keep up what he's done here in the preseason, now Dallas has a legit number two now. He have a legit number two. I know y'all guys heard Will say, but he's been saying this a bunch of times too. If you look at bubble KP, you know that KP can be a number two, damn near a number one. Damn near. Like I said, I'm not saying he's a full number one, but he's close as bubble KP. And if he can take them type of sensibilities going into the season that he's doing right now, sky's the limit for this team. Because I think that this year, the key for this year is going to be KP. Now I know that's like cliche to say and all that stuff, and you heard a lot of people say that, but it's true. It's true. Just for example, look in the playoffs when KP didn't play well or he was hurt. Look how far the Mavs got. They didn't get too far. But when you see KP being the bubble KP or the unicorn as has been called, you see this team goes to a whole nother level. And we definitely going to need that from KP this year if we expect to make that next step. And I'm not going to go out on a limb because I did that last year and I found myself out there in the little thin branch. So I'm not going to go out on a limb and say, I think KP is going to be that guy this year. So with me saying all of that, I'm still on a wait and see type of basis because also to me, it's going to be important to see what KP does in the playoffs. Because I know it's easy to say that for the regular season, but when we needed you most is in the playoffs. So we're going to have to wait until, late April, early May to really see if the way KP is playing right now in the preseason is going to pay off around that time. But if I had to call it right now, I think he would. I think he will. Like I said, I'm not going to put my full faith in it because I've done that before and it came back to bite me. I'm not doing that again. I am on a wait and see on everything. So there's that. I like the way we need to give kudos to Jason Kidd, especially me. I know I need to because I was one of those people. I was on the fence about Jason Kidd. I know y'all heard me say this a million times about Jason Kidd. I was not 100% sold on Jason Kidd based off of what we knew and the things that we heard about him in Milwaukee and in Brooklyn. So I wasn't 100% sure on how he would come into this situation with Dallas, knowing what we came out of that offseason with the whole Bob Garrett stuff, the Rick Carlisle stuff, the Donnie Nelson stuff. No, I felt like us having a more steady hand coach, a more sure coach would have helped. So I wasn't 100% sure about Jason Kidd. But I'm glad to see that Jason Kidd is kind of showing what he's been telling us this whole offseason about how he's going to approach it, his coaching style and things like that. He's starting to show exactly what he was talking about, man. I am so glad because, like I said before, too, as a Mavs fan, you want this to work. You want it to work. Even if it's somebody you feel like I didn't want him, I wanted somebody else, you still want this to work regardless, because you want your team to win. And so the fact that we see Jason Kidd's style, manifesting itself on this team, and you hear all the players speaking glowingly about him, and you just feel that sense of it's like energy like flowing through the team. Like everybody out there having fun and laughing and playing with each other and stuff like that, man. And for Jason Kidd saying himself that the key that he learned in LA is just look, you can't control everything, man. Just communicate. Just kind of relax a little bit on these players and just have some fun. It's all about having fun. You know what I mean? And you definitely want that. You want this team to be loose and free because you saw with them being loose and free, what they're doing for them here in the preseason. So that's definitely a good thing. Another thing I've taken from this preseason is a lot of the others, like a lot of our centers, like the White Powell. The White Powell, if y'all notice today in tonight's game, he's been shooting a lot of threes. He's been hitting them too in a nice little rate. I'm not saying he's Seth Curry or anybody, but he's been hitting his threes. And y'all heard me say before that if he could kind of focus on shooting corner threes to kind of space the floor out a little bit to give KP and Luka some operating room, that'd be a huge plus for the Mavericks. And he's been hitting them. And you can tell that he's been working on them. And not only has he been working on them, he's shooting them with confidence. Because I felt like in the past he was shooting them, but just really didn't have confidence in himself in making them. Now there's no hesitation on his release, and he's shooting it with confidence, so it seems natural. And that's the most important part right there. And I think with this coaching staff, being a coaching staff that's known for developing, I think that has a lot to do with how Dwight Powell is approaching this and how he's getting better on his 3-point shots. So that's all good for Dwight Powell. It's all good for the Mavericks. I touched on the defense and stuff like that because I really feel like with this team, they really didn't have as much opportunity last year to kind of build their continuity because, the whole situation with COVID, man, it's been messed up for everybody. So it's really kind of hard to just build that continuity like you really need it. And like I said, you can tell by how the team is interacting with each other that they really are enjoying each other's company. They're starting to bond. They're starting to kind of get that just kind of getting together like we really felt like they should have did last year when they really didn't have a chance to. So that's a good thing. Another thing too, guys, I need to touch on one thing, and that's the Josh Green thing. Y'all heard me speak on Josh Green before. Y'all heard my opinions about Josh Green. I am still on the fence with the whole Josh Green thing. Y'all heard me say a million times too that he needs to be another Dorian. But to be honest with you, you guys know who can really be another Dorian if you kind of just look at his game and how physical he is and how gritty he is. Eugene Omarara. Eugene. I was messed up his last name. I'm sorry. Eugene to me, he's like a hybrid of Brandon Bass and Dorian. I feel like he has a Dorian type of projection. Like I said, he's physical. He's a good defender, high energy guy. He's a good rebounder like Dorian. I see him being able to work on his 3-point shot like Dorian because Dorian's 3-point shot has gotten better each year. His percentages have gotten better each year. And I think with Eugene, I think he can do that same thing. I like what I saw with Eugene, man. I really feel like he's one of those players that they're going to try to hurry up and get his stint with the Texas Legends out the way and bring him up because he played a lot of key minutes here with other key rotation players here in the preseason. I think Dallas really likes what they see with this guy and see the potential he has. I see it. I think that if you can groom this guy up, let Coach Sweeney work with him, sky's the limit with Eugene, man. I really like what we got with him, man. I'm so glad we found him. I'm so glad he played on our summer league team to the point that we can bring him in. You guys heard me talk about the 3 players that got cut. I really liked Carly Jones. Kind of reminded me of a Cameron Payne type of point guard. He was a great pick and roll point guard. And you guys know here in the NBA, today's NBA, the league is predicated on pick and roll offense and pick and roll defense. You can tell he already picked up on the pick and roll offense, played a lot of 2-man game and pick and rolls with Moses Brown, which I would have really liked to have kept him to kind of see where he can go with that, man. Because like I said, if you're telling me he can be another Cameron Payne type of point guard, and y'all see what Cameron Payne is doing for Phoenix right now, that'd be a plus for the Mavericks. Ja'Cory McLaughlin, I didn't see enough for him for us to keep him. Maybe Dallas sees something in the guy, in practice or something like that, or they saw something in him in training camp. I didn't see anything that really just stuck out to me in the preseason. Like I said before, you are a 3-point shooter, and you really wasn't doing that too well. Carly Jones showed out in every game they played in. And so I thought that maybe they would void, Ja'Cory's, 2-way contract and then give it to Jones. But I guess that's not the case because he got cut tonight, like I said in the beginning of the video. But, going into this season, guys, I'm liking what I'm seeing with the Mavericks. Like I said, they've kind of hit on areas that we've talked about before, them needing to improve in, which is defense, which is pace, which is continuity. It all seems to be, transpiring here in the preseason, and hopefully it can just transfer right over into the regular season because they got a test come next Thursday against the Atlanta Hawks. Y'all know that they are not no joke. Trae Young and them boys, they did go to the Eastern Conference Finals this past summer. So they are definitely a handful, especially in Atlanta, and which we talked about that before too. I hate the fact that we all got started on the road, but that's a conversation for another day. I'm just ready for this season to start, guys. I am so ready. I enjoyed every preseason game that I saw, even that damn near 70-point blowout, which was crazy to me, man. I don't really like seeing games that lopsided because it's not any fun. But I guess when your team is the one that's doing it, I guess it's okay. As long as it's not your team that's getting blown out. So I guess that's okay. Um, I guess that's gonna do it for me, guys. Just kind of giving you my thoughts going into the regular season. I'm so ready. I just don't know. I'm so ready. I know me, Jay, and Will are gonna try to go to some away games this year. Now that we're able to go back to the stadiums and stuff like that, we're gonna try to go to some away games and stuff like that. I'm gonna try to get in as many post game videos like this with all the games after the games. So you guys look forward to that. Going to be dropping the last two of my top five position players in Mavs history here pretty soon. So look for that too. But with that being said, guys, won't you guys go ahead and like this video? And if you just seen this video or this channel for the first time, won't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button down there at the bottom, guys? That will help us out a lot. And then go ahead and hit that notification bell so that way if anything drops from me or the other guys on the channel, you guys will be the first ones to know. There will be more Mavs videos, like I said. Shout out to Jay and Will. They've been really doing a great job on the Cowboys / NFL stuff, so you guys can look forward to that. There should be some videos here on the channel that you guys can watch, support those guys too. With that being said, guys, it is your boy Rail. So like, subscribe, and comment down below, guys. What do you think that Dallas is going to do going into this new season? Do you think it's going to be a great season for the Mavericks? Do you see them guys maybe getting out the first round finally? Do you see them going to the West Conference Finals? Just let me know, guys. Just go ahead and comment down below and just have a conversation. What do y'all guys think about the Mavericks this season after what we saw with them in the preseason? With that being said, guys, it is your boy Rail. We talk Mavs, and I will catch you guys here again very soon.